solution is whatever the problems that we still have on the other automation tools like Selenium and Cypress. The problems that we have in this automation tools are properly addressed in this Playwright. So now, if you ask me now, in near future, this is the best tool. Maybe it will change. It have its own problems. But what is the problem that Selenium is having? Selenium is not giving a framework. It gets to give a library. And what Selenium other problem is, it don't have a recording and playback and the same time running the scripts on your what you call IDE, like maybe it can be IntelliJ or it can be Visual Studio. So it have a separate thing like Selenium IDE, and it generates some code and we have to copy paste it and we can't debug the same code. So the problem with Selenium IDE, Selenium is very good. The actual automation testing, just to take one more second, guys, the automation tools like QTP, Windrunner, Silk Test, they're all very, very good because they actually have a record and playback mechanism. But once we moved out of all this tooling thing and those kind of things and coming out of open source, then we started Selenium. And Selenium, what does it support? It's not a tool, but it's a frame. It's a kind of open source library. Just to give some taste, they had implemented a tool called Selenium IDE, and hardly people use it because it's not a very good, because the component is detached from the actual framework. So Selenium is not a very good record and playback tool, and it is very hard for somebody to again develop a lot of framework like Cucumber, Page Object Model, and developing browser stack, like what else, like browser, yeah, JUnit, test engine, and we need to do all this tooling. So we need to learn 100 things and then we implement it. So that is one of the problem. And then we got WebDriver IO, Protract, a lot of tools. I think you may know that I'm doing this tooling from last 10-15 years, but it have its own problems because you need to do the work. You need to develop everything from scratch. So that is the reason why Selenium is very good. It's compatible with all the languages, all the browsers. But the problem that Selenium is having is it is not a framework. It doesn't give a framework. And now the next thing that came recently, we did I think me and another also did like a couple of years back on Cypress with the actual CTO of Cypress, who is Gleb from US. So we did this similar kind of a meetup with that guy. At that time, Cypress is very good. The advantage of Cypress is it actually is completely JavaScript framework, and it actually tests very fast, and it gives a framework. Means it actually is just a part of a typical NPM module, and things like Mocha and all these things, you can simply use it. Because JavaScript is so famous, people like developers will be very happy to implement straight away, because that's just like one more unit testing tool, like React unit testing tool, or it can be Mocha. So it actually fits to the developers code, and it's very easy because it's just one more additional NPM package to the existing. So it's a developer friendly, and it also have a lot of additional features like waiting mechanism. It waits and it actually runs in. It will have a issue with running on one browser, but over the period of time they're running in Chrome and IE, and also they integrated with browser stack. We did one meetup with that also. So with the browser stack also, you can do multi-browser testing. So say Cypress is really, really good at that point. But the problem that Cypress was bringing is it is not a multi-language tool. You have to learn JavaScript. It's not like Selenium. You can't do Java, .NET, Python, or other thing like Ruby. So that is the reason why it is only limited to JavaScript, and then it is only developer friendly. But automation testers are like, okay, is it really good? And then it don't have a record and playback mechanism. Now the problems with Selenium not having a framework, and Cypress not supporting multiple languages, and having its own record and playback mechanism, of the problem with Cypress and the problems with Selenium are completely handled by Playwright. And what Playwright can do? As you can see here, it supports multi-language. And especially, I think many of you people, even I trained you, many of people on Java. The good news of Java people is, yes, Playwright supports Java. Okay, so you can still be good at you don't need to learn JavaScript. And the second thing is, it supports multiple browsers. But the way that it supports is not like what your Chrome supports. So sorry, Cypress supports, because Cypress supports Electron, but this supports Chromium, because Chromium is more, it emulates a more real user interactions, and Electron is more of a headless browser. So if you go into depth, technically, this is more of a realistic kind of a UI it renders. So it is and also it supports multi-browser. So it supports multi-browser and it supports multi-language. And the very important thing that it is not here is it supports record and playback. Now that is a good news for all of you, that in Playwright without coding skills also you can automate. So it provides very good record and playback mechanism. Okay. And obviously talking about CI/CD pipeline is very mandatory. Without CI/CD pipeline, you can't even put your leg into any company, because without CI/CD pipeline, now nothing is existing. So coming back to the comparison, just to compare, guys, I will show you the Playwright today. Just hang on for a few more minutes. You will actually see the real thing. But just to conclude on the tooling side, because this is a really important question. Okay, anybody, as a tester, you need to know the tooling, especially you should be, as an automation tester, you need to know the tooling, what is going outside. So the takeaway that you need to think is, yes, Selenium is very famous. A lot of companies are still using it, and Playwright is very new. It's a dark horse. Okay, but it is emerging. Cypress is very good, as I said. Cypress is a developer friendly tool. But the problem that I already said is many companies are still confused. Who will do automation? Developers can do fast automation, give it to them. But who is the actual end user? Testers. So they are writing unit testing or low level test, but there's no return of investment if you're just doing a developer, because he exactly have the same mindset when developing. So he will actually test the way he's developed. So it is nothing, nothing happens there. But if you have two different people writing the test, then only the actual value. So Cypress is more developer friendly and it supports end to end, but more of a developer friendly. But our Playwright is again good news for testers. Or days are back. It is a tester friendly. Second thing, Playwright, Selenium supports all these languages. Cypress only supports one, as already said. But Playwright, except Ruby, it supports Java, JavaScript, Python. So whoever working with Python or C# or Java, I think mainly if you ask me to advise, Sriram sir, tell me so much. Don't tell Tom and tell me one thing. I would suggest to go with C# and Playwright. Nowadays, people are going towards Microsoft, because Microsoft is kind of ruling the whole world by taking the Azure, and even DevOps. Jira is also gone. They're using Azure DevOps, the CI/CD pipeline. So Microsoft is really, especially thanks to Satya Nadella, is actually pushing all these companies to get rid of all this too many things, too many outsourcing like our open source tools coming to one stack called Microsoft. And that is the reason why there's a lot of demand for C# automation testers. Okay, if you are ask me, sir, what is the next thing I want to do? JavaScript or C#? I would suggest JavaScript or C#, but C# is little bit coming days, because that's what I would advise, because you can learn Azure, C# and Playwright, and that is the best combination. So, and the good news is Playwright is the product of Microsoft. So Microsoft is backing Playwright. Okay, it is not like Cypress, where Cypress don't have a company. Selenium also don't have a company, but Playwright have a company. So who is the person who is giving the Playwright? Microsoft is backing the Playwright. So so you are in a very good state, and the development will happen so fast. It's not like open source community. You have an issue, then one of the developer in somewhere in Malaysia need to fix it. It is a team of people in Microsoft are helping this. So it is really Microsoft friendly, and because it's Microsoft friendly, they normally ask you to push on C# because they want everything to be their own stack. So that is what I would suggest. And coming to, yes, it is supporting Chromium, Firefox, WebKit, yes. And very importantly, how it works, it actually works a little bit more closely than WebDriver. The protocol is like debug protocol, which is nothing but the way the developers debugs, the same way you can debug your test as well. It's very nice. And finally, the fast is super fast. And again, whenever the tool is fast, you always will have a issue with the waiting. But it actually does with the waiting also. Your weights also, your implicit weight, or explicit weight, or JavaScript weight, fluent weight, all this nonsense is gone. Okay, so it actually have its own weights. And coming to the finally the important thing, it got fully framework with advanced features. So I can show you right now. It actually gives the framework as well. So you don't need to kind of worry. But just to add one point, it also supports you page object model very much. So you can actually use page object model, but very importantly, when you actually go to the tooling which our SAR RS is showing, they also have a tool which actually supports page object model. OK, so yes, still the page object model is coming back, and the people in Playwright also supports. So definitely the way that the Playwright thinks is every page should be a page object, and everything should have locators, should be separated, and all the concept of page object model is also now coming back. But in Cypress, somehow developers like said, oh, why we don't need too many layers, let's have a linear script. But now again, page object is coming, so it's a good news for us. Okay, guys, so that is about the theory of Playwright. And again, as I said, right, it's very good. I will open the questions at the last. Please don't go away. And then I'll answer. So that is about the theory. Okay, so let's start doing looking into the code. Again, if I'm writing the code, please stop me, but I will not write the code. Okay, so the first thing that I will show you is how to set up the Playwright in JavaScript stack. And then how to what you called enable your options in VS Code and record and playback, and what is the common issues that we will get in Playwright. And beyond what I'm showing in this demo, I'm just showing very small, like 1% of what any tester can do. So I'll tell you what else you can do after this particular small demo. Okay. Okay, shall we start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So I've just this is my computer. So I mean, you can see here. This is an existing test, but mainly for the people who are JavaScript, it will be. You see, the setup is very easy. Okay, so how to how to set up a simple framework is. Okay, simple one line command, just saying that Playwright init. Okay, I know it is very small. Maybe let me see if I can zoom. Okay, view. Shall I zoom it? Shall I zoom out?
Yeah, put it yes, in the full screen. Yeah.
Okay, can you see?
Yeah, this is better.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so normally, guys, just I'm telling this is you need to have an npm install, which is nothing but your node. So you need to have node, and you need to install npm playwright one line command. Because I already got Playwright npm, I'm just having npx playwright in it. Npx is about executable of npm. So again, this is just a one-time thing. You don't need to learn a lot of things. So one command to start a framework is npx playwright init. Means I'm saying just start something. So now what it is saying, it will install my Playwright package. I'm clicking on OK. Okay, so I think I'm in wrong folder. Give me a second. Okay, just see here we have all this kind of commands. So that is the good thing of having this. So we have a lot of commands. So just to start with, normally we can have this playwright command. Uh, okay, okay, 1 second, guys. So I'll just start with. Okay, 1 second, guys. Npm install -g playwright. Okay, 1 second. It's not global. So the installation, I can make it global, and then playwright RIGHT. Okay, so okay, is recognizing install start or start. I think. So, okay, give me a second, guys. So, okay, where is this? Okay, install start. So there is one setup thing. Give me a minute. So I think it start or initiate something like that. Let me say my history. Okay. Yes, init playwright. Okay, sorry guys, just a other way around. So it is the command, which is nothing but init playwright. Okay, now see here, guys. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. See here. Now it shows a set of steps. So the framework that we talk about Selenium, setting up all these things, it's just a one-line command here. So what I'm doing, I'll just select TypeScript or JavaScript, and then you can see here it'll ask where to put your tests. Do you need to have a specific folder? By default, I'll just use it as a test. Okay. And do you need to create Git actions? Because the CSD pipeline by default, Playwright is linked with Git actions. Okay, because Git actions is a CID pipeline tool given by GitHub people. So it actually provides a YAML file and configuration. Okay, but as of now, I'm just not putting a false. That is done. Now the other thing is browsers, because as I said, right, it uses a kind of set of browsers which we have to either install it now or later. So I'm just saying install it now. So now here, see here, in this last within few seconds, you can see here the project is already set up, and is also saying what you can do. You can run the test or you can run through UI, and whatever it is actually giving the options. So within next 5 to next like last 2 minutes, I was able to create a framework. And if I just run a test, see already something is already some automation test is already running, and you already get 6 tests which is passed. Okay, so with the next last within last 5 minutes, I'm able to run the test. See, because it's so fast, it is running and your already test is passed. Okay. Do you want to see that in the action in the UI?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Because
yes.
it's so fast and headless, you will think that okay, Sriram sir is doing some magic. I'm not doing any magic. I'll show you what I'm doing is real. Okay. Now see here. This is Playwright. Okay. Now this Playwright is a tool. Now it is on the UI, and what I will do on the UI, I'm running the test. And remember, this is the test which I haven't designed anything, and it is a default test which is given by Playwright. So I haven't scripted anything, just within but that init command, I was able to set up the framework, and I also have a couple of tests. Okay, and also how you can see here, there is some commands and tests as well. So the point I want to make is the setup is so easy, simple, and the framework is set up. Okay, so that is that's how easy it is. Okay, but as I said, I will this is set up, but for you people, I already have something already set up, which I will happily to go through. I can walk through. Okay, so the setup is, as I said, it's a simple setup and you can run. So what is exactly happened is, if you see my command, because I had created the test, so there is a particular, the set of tests, and because I already said that there is tests. Okay, so you can see here example dot vi. So that example is the spec. So this is the code that is already generated. Okay, so this all done by default. But now that is a setup, but I won't just let it go. From there, I will extend my tests. So what I have done right now is I created some sample test because of this demo purpose. But in front of you, I'll create a new test. So the initial setup is done. Again, I'm not writing any code. I'm running some few commands. But now what I will do, I will create a test cases for you people just for the demo purpose. What I will do, I will create a test. Okay. So some of you give any the name of the test. Give any name. I will take from you. Give a name.
Demo class.
Demo. It's not a class. Meetup. Okay. Okay. Spec dot ts. So I'm writing in TypeScript. Okay. So I just created one, and now what I need to do is, again, as I said, I will not do anything, but I will just copy paste. It is already there in your sample code, so it is already here. So even this I can copy paste. Okay, if you want to, I can copy paste, doesn't matter, but it's the same thing. Okay, now what I will do, I'll just go to my test and just do nothing, but just wait here, and I will save this test. Okay, I haven't written any code. Now from here, this is where the actual thing. So the framework is set up, but now I need to get the code, record and playback, and get the code. So again, no coding. So what I will do is, because you need to have a Visual Studio installed, there is something called a test lab here. It's a lab icon, which is nothing but it will help to run the tests. So here you have seen a beautiful few options. In here, what I would do, because as I said, record and playback, if you know how to click on record and playback, you can automate your Playwright tests. So now what I did, I clicked on the record and playback button. Okay, so what I did, I just clicked on record button. Now what I will do, because for this demo purpose, there's a small website which I have. I will open that website. Give me a second. I have some sample website, guys. Don't take it seriously. I have some test. Okay, some sample website which is my own. I don't want to go to any other open source website. So this one small website, I just pasted. This can be your application's your company's own URL. So you just paste it. Now what I want to do, I don't want to do a lot of complexity. Just click on book now button. And I want to just check that I am seeing the childcare experience. That's it. So now you can record multiple lines, but just to make sure that we are not running out of time. So just want to keep one small test, click on but that, and I want to check that some text is coming. Okay. Now beautifully, if you go back in your screen, see that there is some code generated. Okay, so the code is already generated. If you don't believe me, I will do something else. Click on select and click that Jola is available. Okay, see here, 2 more lines of code got generated. Okay, so if you want to click on next month, 1 more line got generated. So here directly on your IDE, example, think in Selenium, what do? You write your own code, but here you are not writing your code. The code is written by the tool itself. It is directly saving in your framework. And the next thing you do is go to Git and commit it. Over, your work is over. So simple that the code is line by line is getting generated. Okay. And sir, we don't believe it, sir. Okay. If you don't believe it, you will believe when I run it. Okay. So this is all done. And then what I will do, I'll just be a good boy. I'll just close all the browsers. So all my browsers are closed. Okay. Believe me, this is my other browser. Don't worry. My browsers are closed. Now what I do? Nothing, no coding today. I'm not writing one line of code. I'll just go here because we had created this playwright meetup.test. There's a play button here. Okay, I'll sit ideally. I'm not doing anything. And your playwright is actually doing the test. What does it do? Click on book button, book now button, and go into the next step. OK, I think it's already done. OK, I think it's so fast that it's already done. OK, let me run it again. OK, watch out, guys. OK, the tests are actually passed. So are we at the right place? No, sorry, guys, we are in the wrong place. It's got a record is test 7. OK, sorry. That's what I'm wondering. OK, even doesn't matter. Test 7 is our test. OK, see now, click on book button, click on next month. Everything is done. OK, so you can see here all the steps are done. OK, and you also got the results. OK, if you want to reveal your test output, you can see here the one test is fast. It had taken 5 seconds to complete the test. OK, so you can say what happened. I will again run for you. OK, it's 5 seconds. The test will run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. OK, that's it. So the test is finished. So like this, you can see here the code is running and it had given the time, how much time each and every step had taken. So now, without writing any code, your tests are done. OK, and no wait is required, nothing. It is so cool, so simple. OK, and what else? I'll close the browser. I'll run it for you. OK, and it's hard to believe, especially coming from Selenium and that kind of background. But your tests are all working. OK, it's not flaky. It never fails. OK, but because it uses a very advanced way of locating, you don't use XPath and nonsense. OK, it used by label, by role, by text. It got its own locator. So you can see here the test is done just like that. OK, and what else you want to do? I mean, if you want to run in headless also, you can just do this and run it. So it will run in headless. OK, so you can see here line by line it's executing, and it is executing in the Visual Studio. OK, not in Selenium IDE or something like that. OK, because I said that don't run the browser, it will disable. So now you can see here it's running on the browser. OK, so this is one of the features of Playwright. But don't get too excited. There's one more very important feature. OK, it's all done and dusted. It's all done through Visual Studio. But it also have a very good very good feature called code generation. OK, so there's an option called code gen, and what does that do is it actually runs the test. It actually opens a kind of a UI where you can see a Playwright in action through an UI. OK, so see here there is a test runner. This is called Playwright Inspector. OK, and what this Playwright Inspector will do, you can see here it actually copied the actual test that we previously have written. Now, example, you want to add some more steps, or you want to add a complete new step. So now if you run this code gen is nothing but say here I'm giving a OK, give me a second. I'm not running code gen, I'm running runner. OK, so give me a second. So yes, so there is a tool called code generator. So what is that code generator will do is you can see here you can actually, while recording and playback also, you can do similar thing that I just done a few minutes back. OK, so you can see here this is a different type of recording and playback, not through Visual Studio Code, but you can see here with this we got some code inspector. This is called Playwright Inspector. So it got opened. Now here, see here here I can actually do the same thing. Click on this and maybe click on different one and click on next month. And you can see here parallelly tests are getting recorded. Now what happens if this is where I like the best part of this Playwright is, sir, I am a Java developer or a Java automation tester. What is the meaning for me? You can see here at the same time, the test can be changed into any language. Now see here, I can make it at a Java. Okay, the same test, even I will do a recording again, don't worry. The same test, whatever I'm doing, it can convert into Java as well. So here, I think, hope you can see here, public static void main is Java, not JavaScript. No, sir, I'm a Python tester. Thank you very much. You can use either a Python, PyTest directly, or you can use a framework which nothing but gives the imports and other kind of a, tear down and tear up kind of a scripts. Or if you want, you can also have async. If you think that, okay, sir, but tests are a little bit flaky, you can include async. Similarly, Microsoft, you can do my MS test, which is Microsoft NUnit. Microsoft, no, sir, I want a framework. Go here. So you get complete program. OK, and now what you can do is, if you want, you can go here and example, click on next day. See here, the next day command I had done is done through Microsoft C#. So the code is automatically generating in the way that we want. So that is a super duper feature, which my point of view, because you can same time you can record and playback and get your code. And the other good thing is even I can run the tests at the same time. OK, see here previously, because I haven't run in the runner. So if I change the command right now, because there's a code generator, but if I run the test through the tester, okay, which is nothing but running the test through a test runner. OK, so there will be an option to run the test. So I can run the test in parallel with the code executing on a test runner. OK, so what happens? Your test is running and you can debug your test at the same time. Example, your tests are not running properly. Then you can debug the test at the same time. See here, and you are getting a report as well. OK, so what is happening is, I know you think that I'm going too fast. I'm not doing anything. I'm running a code generator, one for future, and there is a test runner feature. I'm just running this running feature, and what it is happening is behind the screen, it is running the test. OK, so the code, the what you call test runner is also have an option to run that. OK, so here the test is there and you can run and debug. Oh no, sir, I want to see one by one. Go and debug your test line by line. You can see here in the background your tests are running. OK, so like this, your tests are running while you are developing. So, and again, I haven't done any one line of code. I did not write any command like await or dot, nothing. It is all doing through no code. So line by line, I can execute. If anything is having any problem, I can fix it. So I can see the console here. If I want examples, are the locator is very flaky. You have an option to take a pick locator and click on that, and you will get a locator as well. So you are getting some locators as well through your code. So there are a lot of features. I don't want to take the whole demo like today, but it have a lot of features like pick locator and then debugging and all these things. OK, so again, this test is all done. If you're happy with this, take the code. OK, so you can copy the code, or you want to change it into the language that you want, you can do, but that you can only do code generator. But this is just a test runner. OK, so like that, you can see here the test. If you want to, I can add more code into it. And sorry, it's the same test case. Add a new test case. OK, because this is already imported. There are a couple of test cases. Test one. OK, sorry, I promise that I will not do coding, right? Let's not do any coding. Okay, I'll just keep it simple. Okay, so if you want to run, create a new file. Writing a new file is not a coding. Okay, if I want to stick to my words, so you can go to the file and a new file, something like test8.spec.ts. TS is TypeScript, so I'll just paste it and I can run it. Okay, so like that, guys, I'm just saying you just need to know where to record, where to play back, and there is a bit of, as we already seen in our terminal, there is a bit of okay, there's a bit of commands that you need to know, like test UI, browser, a specific test, debugging, code generator, and running through a test runner. So a little bit of things that you need to learn, which I can teach you why if I'm doing the course with you, but a bit of piece that you need to do. But the the learning will be maximum 1-2 weeks. You should be able to get in and out of it. Okay, and creating the end-to-end frameworks. So that's how that fast it is, because as I said, I don't need to teach you JavaScript. Okay, I don't need to teach you Java. I would teach you Playwright straight away. Okay, if I want to do it. Okay, I'm just saying. So that's how that simple it is. Okay, so coming back to my original thing. So yes, record and playback and the common issues. Yeah, I had shown you the record and playback. The issues that we get is you might have seen the two important things I missed. I haven't kept any weights and I haven't kept any assertions. So the issues will come when you keep an assertion. So assertions is something that you need to learn. That is something common, and there'll be still some weight issues here and there. You need to know how to handle that, but it is hardly 5 to 10% of the maintenance work. Then you need to do it. That's where you will have a issues. Example like uh, again, like if you're running in mobile, maybe locator is not working. So you still have that basic common issues that is typical automation testing will have, because when you're doing that automation testing, you are dealing with two different applications. Your automation testing itself is an application. The application you are testing is two different things. So you're two different people talking to each other and getting the outcome is not easy. If you're developing a website, you are only one. But if you're developing an automation framework, you need to deal with website and as well as your framework. So still the syncing issues, the locator issues, all these common things that we have is still there. But it will give you 99.9% hassle free. Okay. And yes, coming to we add more. If you want to add more, the only thing I would say is page object model. We haven't done anything as of now. We haven't implemented any BDD yet. We can implement it. And we haven't done anything like a multi-test, like parallel testation, parallel browser, all this, the complex things of automation. I haven't shown you here wantedly because it's a meetup. But if you want to learn more, you always can contact me. Okay. So just to on that side, what is left, as I said, right? If you want to complete the full, want to learn more, not from me anywhere in the world. If you want to take your Playwright next level, so you should know a little bit of NPM and Node, and a little bit of automation coding, which I said, like basics. And you need to know, like example, you have to run in multiple environments like test, UAT, and production. Then you need to maintain multiple environment variables, which is what you need to learn a little bit. And you need to know how to configure multiple browsers, integrate with browser stack, running in Docker, very important, because this is all my Mac, but when you're running in CI/CD pipeline, you'll be running in Linux machines and all. But we can't, kind of just take a chance. So we need to deal with Dockerization, which will help us to containerize the whole test. Yeah, putting the test in pipeline is one of the important that you need to know. So my point of view, I mean, Amel, I can help you to teach all these things, but these are the ingredients that you need to add on top of the basic Playwright thing. Okay. And finally, as that approach. So yes, very importantly, if you got a bug or something is not working, browser is APIs is getting in errors. So you need to know a little bit smart, like an SDET developer for a test, like you need to know, is it a React application or a JavaScript application or the Angular, or do we have a proper locators? You don't need to, but if you know a little bit of development also, as a automation tester. That helps the developers to get less frustration, and for you also to, kind of work smartly. Okay. So this is what the next thing that you need to learn, apart from basics, that is the setup and all these things that you have to learn to become a very good Playwright automation tester. So just to, just to, just to come back to the original topic. So what is the key takeaways that you all people need to take today out of this class is you have to, how to start the Playwright, and you also know what are the tools in market, especially 3 important tools, and you also know why Playwright is so big, so nice. So this is the takeaway that you need to take. So you need to know what are the tools available, what is the advantage of Playwright, how to get started with Playwright, nothing but record and playback. I think I already shown you. However, as I said, I mean, I am Sriram Angajala. I think many of you know me. So I'm happy to help you. It's not like end. If you need any advice, anything related to automation testing or career, I can help you. So you got somebody to always, you can ask me with my experience or like that. We can help you. So that is the key takeaways. Knowing about Playwright, telling like comparing a lot of tools, why need Playwright, and that other last takeaway is, if you need any advice, you can come to me. I am IT Talent Hub. We can here to help you. Okay. So that's it, guys, from my side. And then I think this is the time for me to give the host to